Let me ask a question. Who had to calm down the most out of the three of y'all?
Pat.
Y'all got jacked for y'all. Okay, Pat was that. He was favorite the All Star.
Pat, 100%. 100% was Pat.
Okay, I appreciate you making it here, Pat. That shows a lot of maturity, and we need more of that. We need more of that. You know, so any idea of for the people who might not be up on game and don't understand, they might not be technologists. What does a streaming platform do in essence, nutshell type stuff?
It's pretty simple. So years ago, you would have to have a physical medium to watch a movie, right? Particularly like you went from VHS, and then you went to beta, and then you went to DVDs, or and things like that.
Right.
Your streaming is pretty much just the same content digitized in the cloud, and then it's pushed out to what you call OTP, like it's pushed out over the internet. So when you watch a video, it's pretty much just now digitized, it's stored in the cloud somewhere, and many people could watch the same movie at the same time. So that's all really streaming is, just a digitized content stored in the cloud, no different than music is now on Spotify and etc.
Gotcha.
So, buddy, talk to us a little bit. Kwaz, you talked about, look, I hate, when I hear what happened, you guys had a show and it was about to launch and then somebody stole it. And then you don't even know about it. It reminds me and Chris was talking about this on one of our earlier episodes. It reminds me that, that happened to Bruce Lee. Okay. Bruce Lee created a show. Yeah, buddy. Bruce Lee created a show. Okay. He was going to be the star in it. Okay. It was called Kung Fu. Was it called Kung Fu?
Yeah, it was.
Kung Fu.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
That's right.
Kung Fu. Okay. And then he was at home. The studio's like, we got it. We're going to launch this next week or next month, what case may be. He was at home. He turned the TV on. He see David Carradine walking across the sand.
Wow.
Snatching pebbles. Snatching pebbles.
And snatching pebbles. That was his show. He created it, whole 9 yards. Okay.
Wow.
So when I hear what happened to the brothers here, and then you can't say nothing. I mean, and look, you ain't the first, to be fair, all right? Because if they're doing that, they've done it a million times, right? So that's the standard operating procedure. But let me ask you guys this. You had this, an idea, thought it was going to go well. All of a sudden, they steal it from you. Now you got to get back together. Reminds me of you ever see the movie The Temptations?
Right.
When the manager, he had the woman manager, and she took the name, and everybody broke up, and then all of a sudden they came back. So talk a little bit about when did you know? What was the early signs that you guys had something real? Everybody's got an idea, right? Everybody starts trying to put something together. But what was we got something, especially Anthony, when you just broke down what streaming is?
It's real simple. We knew we had something when they stole the show. We knew that seriously.
I mean, that's as simple as there you go.
Follow the money.
We knew we were good enough to produce on our own. But Pat, and this is why I said Pat, and Pat said something to me one day, he's like, yo, we got to be in a position where they can't tell us no. And that was what really sparked us. Because we knew we had the chops to create at the next level, network level. But then we didn't want to have to go through the gatekeepers and the begging and the pitching. And we said, Pat told me, we were in the gym, and he's like, yo, we got to create a position where they can't tell us no. He said, nobody would never tell us no again.
Because they was telling us, hold on, and they was telling us no about stupid stuff, about a lady's arm being too fat in a scene.
Man, I forgot about that.
I'm not even making this stuff up.
Hold on. Tell us the story though. Tell us the story. So what was her arm in the? So talk a little bit about that.
It was a cake show, and we had a young lady that she was
a little corpulent.
She
was healthy.
Well built.
Yeah.
She was
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with her.
Right.
The lead producer come to us. I don't know. Her arms are a little bit too big, and he had the same tone of voice. And I don't know, man. His arms, her arms, man. And we was getting stuff like that, and it was just out of control. He might see this,
and they didn't want to do nothing because the lady. I mean, couldn't you just? That didn't make any sense. You could put somebody else's arm in it, right? I mean, that was so integral part of it that we can't build a business.
it's not even that we want to put another arm in there. It's the fact that she makes cakes. What do you expect from a lady that makes
It's her
cakes?
shop.
Right.
Like,
That's
It's her
insane.
shop.
like,
That's
come on.
insane.
But
That's
let me
insane.
ask this though before we break down the meaning of the the company name. Is my experience, and I don't have as much experience as Tony because he in that New York scene, but I've been around folks thanks to him, and y'all tend to have creative differences quite a bit and be cool with it. So is this just the nature of creative differences, or was they just hating recreationally on y'all?
Oh,
I don't know.
they.
I don't know.
It's. There's
I
no
think it's a
answer.
combination of
Okay,
both.
got you.
Because if
I think it's a combination of the two.
Okay, two things can be true. Yeah.
like I don't
Absolutely
So
a
go ahead,
combination.
Pat. When you say you think it's a combination of both,
Being in New York,
like what do
especially
you
as a
mean?
like when you're in New York and you're creative, like you have that hustle in you, you have that drive in you, and you don't take no for an answer. So you're gonna hold your position. I'm gonna hold my position. And when you're creative, you're so passionate about your vision that you're really not gonna back down. So if you guys are not at least going in the same direction, then there's gonna be total friction and you guys just gonna separate. If you guys can at least go in the same direction, there's a little give and take, but for the most part, if I see it one way and somebody else sees it another way, then you have total chaos and it's just not going to work.
Were you guys, piggybacking off Chris's point, were you guys all in lockstep in terms of your own creative vision?
Oh yeah.
For the most part,
So
yeah.
there was no friction between you guys in terms of
for the most
what we
part,
should do. Yeah. So this was just more external in terms of your creative vision versus what they wanted or said they wanted or stuff that they wanted to make changes on. Is that correct?
100%.
Correct. Correct.
Got
Let
it.
me ask one more question, just to stay in the history just for a little bit. Was that the first show you guys had together collectively came up with, or was that your eighth show? Like, what kind of track record had you had, or what made them believe that? Did they believe it was you? Did they believe y'all had stolen it from somebody? What do you think? And I know it's conjecture at this point, but what happened to where y'all got to that point where they just blatantly jacked y'all for y'all stuff?
I mean, to be fair, they stole 2 of our shows.
There we go. That's what I was thinking. My grandma always say the first time you get caught ain't the first time you did it.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? So,
they stole 2 of our shows. So it goes back to the point, like you were saying. It was never a matter of our ability. It was just
Right.
the matter of having the accessibility to get to the next step, and we felt we were being held back. We knew we were being held back, and because they were holding us back, that left opportunities for people to jack our stuff. So we just was like, look, we can't continue to allow this waiting on someone to give us permission. Like I always tell people, like, I don't need to beg you to be successful. So
Right,
once
right.
that kind of kicked in, and Pat put the battery in my back, like, yo, Ant, no, nobody's not gonna tell us no one again. That set us on the mission to start building, like he said, the streaming platform, which led to Akcru, and yeah, that's where we are now.